Welcome back to the Jenny Podcast. Slow English, real conversations, better every day. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Jenny Podcast. I'm Jenny.
And I'm John. We're really happy you're here today. Maybe you're drinking coffee. Maybe you're walking home. Or maybe you're thinking, I should exercise today.
If that's you, this episode is for you. Today, we're talking about exercise, but not in the way you might think.
We're not talking about six-pack abs. We're not talking about running 5 kilometers every morning. And we're definitely not talking about becoming the strongest person in the gym.
We're talking about something much smaller, but also much more important. Why do so many people say, I'll start tomorrow? Again and again and again.
Can I ask everyone a question? When was the last time you promised yourself, tomorrow I'll exercise? Did you do it? Or did tomorrow become another tomorrow?
Don't worry, you're not the only one. Millions of people feel exactly the same. And today, we want to understand why. Not to judge ourselves, not to feel guilty, just to understand.
Because when we understand the real problem, finding the answer becomes much easier.
Many people think, I don't exercise because I'm lazy. Others say, I don't have enough time. Or I'm always too tired after work. These answers sound true, but are they really the reason?
Let's think about it. Sometimes we watch videos for an hour. Sometimes we scroll on social media before bed. Sometimes we spend 30 minutes looking for something to watch. So maybe time isn't the real problem.
And maybe being lazy isn't the problem either. You go to work, you study, you help your family, you finish difficult tasks every day. That doesn't sound like a lazy person. So why is exercise different?
Jenny, can I tell you something?
Of course.
Last month, I bought new sports shoes. I told myself, this time will be different. I even watched workout videos. I felt excited. I was ready.
And then?
I exercised for 3 days. After that, I stopped. The shoes are still new, but they stay in my room every day.
I think many people understand that feeling. We don't always stop because we don't care. Sometimes we stop because we are disappointed.
Disappointed?
Yes. Every time we say, I'll do it tomorrow, and we don't, something very small happens inside us. We lose a little trust. Not trust in other people. Trust in ourselves.
I never thought about it that way.
Imagine this. It's Monday night. You tell yourself, tomorrow morning I'll wake up early and exercise. You really mean it. You even set an alarm. You go to bed feeling proud.
Then morning comes. Your alarm rings. It's 6 o'clock. The room is quiet. Your bed feels warm. Outside, it's still a little dark.
You open one eye. You look at your phone. And then a small voice says, just 5 more minutes.
5 minutes become 15. 15 become 30. Now you're late. You get out of bed quickly. You get dressed. You leave for work. And before closing the door, you quietly whisper, I'll exercise tomorrow.
Nothing bad happened. Nobody was angry. Nobody shouted at you. It was only one missed workout. One small decision. It doesn't feel important. But sometimes our biggest changes begin with our smallest choices. And that's where the story really begins. One missed workout doesn't change your life. But what happens after that can. The next day, you remember yesterday. You think, I already failed. So today doesn't feel like a fresh start anymore. It feels like catching up.
And catching up feels hard. Sometimes too hard.
So you tell yourself, maybe next Monday, or I'll start next month. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Slowly, you stop thinking, I missed a workout. Now you start thinking, I'm just not an exercise person. Can you hear the difference? The first sentence talks about one action. The second sentence talks about who you believe you are. That's a big difference, because actions can change, but identity feels permanent. Exactly. And once you believe exercise isn't for me, your brain starts looking for proof. You see someone running in the park. You think, they're naturally fit. You see your friend going to the gym. You think, they have more discipline than me. Little by little, you believe everyone else is different. But the truth is, most people don't wake up excited to exercise. Most people feel tired. Most people want to stay in bed. The difference isn't motivation. The difference is what they do next. Can I tell you a secret? When I was younger, I thought people who exercised every day must really love exercise. I thought they enjoy running. They enjoy sweating. They enjoy waking up early. But later, I realized something. Many of them don't enjoy those things. They simply enjoy how they feel after. That's true. I've never heard someone say, I regret going for a walk. But I've heard many people say, I regret not going. Our brain is interesting. It likes comfort now more than happiness later. It says, stay on the sofa, watch one more video. You can exercise tomorrow. The problem is, tomorrow says the same thing. Maybe that's why so many people stay in the same place. Not because they don't want to change, but because tomorrow always sounds easier than today. Let me ask you something. Imagine there are two people. The first person exercises for 1 hour, then stops for 3 weeks. The second person walks for 10 minutes, almost every day. Who do you think will become healthier after 1 year? Most people would probably say the second person, because small actions, repeated many times, become something powerful. Exactly. Our lives don't usually change in one big moment. They change through small moments, repeated again and again. One healthy meal, one short walk, one early bedtime, one promise kept. So maybe the real goal isn't exercising for 1 hour. Maybe the real goal is becoming someone who keeps small promises. I like that, because once you trust yourself again, everything else becomes easier. Not only exercise, studying, saving money, learning English, even following your dreams. They all begin with one simple thought. If I tell myself I'll do it, I will. So, if trust is the real problem, how do we build that trust again? Where should we begin? The answer is probably much smaller than you think.
When people want to exercise, they often make one big mistake. They think, I need a bigger goal. But maybe you don't need a bigger goal. Maybe you need a smaller first step. Think about a child learning to walk. Nobody says, come on, run 5 kilometers. We celebrate one small step, then another and another. So why are we so hard on ourselves? Sometimes we expect ourselves to do in 1 day what we couldn't do in 1 year. That's a lot of pressure. Let's imagine it's Monday evening. You just came home. Your body feels tired. Your brain says, not today. Normally, this is where the story ends. You sit on the sofa, you open your phone, and exercise disappears. But today, let's change one thing. Instead of asking, can I finish a 1-hour workout? Ask yourself, can I move for 5 minutes? Just 5. 5 minutes sounds too easy. And that's exactly why it works. Because your goal isn't to become fit today. Your goal is simply to begin. Maybe you walk around your neighborhood. Maybe you stretch. Maybe you dance to one song. Maybe you climb the stairs once. It doesn't matter. Movement is movement. And here's something interesting. Most of the time, once you start, you don't want to stop after 5 minutes. Starting is usually the hardest part. It's like reading a book. Opening the first page is harder than reading page 2. Exactly. We often wait until we feel motivated. But motivation is strange. It usually comes after action, not before. There's another thing that helps. Don't make exercise a decision. Make it part of your day. What do you mean? Well, think about brushing your teeth. Every morning, you don't ask, should I brush my teeth today? You just do it because it's part of your routine. Exercise can become like that too. Not immediately, but little by little. Here's a simple example. Tonight, before you go to bed, put your shoes near the door. Prepare your workout clothes. Fill your water bottle. That's all. The next morning, you don't have to think. You don't have to search for your shoes. You don't have to decide what to wear. Everything is waiting for you. Sometimes making something easier is more powerful than trying harder. I love that because many people believe success comes from strong will, but often success comes from a smart system. A smart system helps you even on the days when you don't feel strong. Because let's be honest, some days you won't feel motivated. And that's okay. You're human. The better question is, can I make today's first step easy? And once that first step becomes easy, something beautiful begins to happen. Exercise slowly changes from something you have to do into something that simply becomes part of your life. Before we finish today's conversation, let's review a few useful words from this episode. These are words you already heard today, so learning them will feel much easier.
Our first word is exercise. Exercise means physical activity to keep your body healthy. For example, I exercise 3 times a week.
Next is workout. A workout is one period of exercise. For example, I had a good workout this morning.
The third word is habit.
A habit is something you do again and again. For example, walking after dinner is my new habit. Next is routine. A routine is something you do in the same way every day. For example, my morning routine starts at 7 o'clock. Another important word is consistency. Consistency means doing something regularly, not perfectly, just regularly. For example, consistency is more important than perfection. Next, motivation. Motivation is the feeling that makes you want to do something. But remember, motivation doesn't always come first. Sometimes action comes first. One more word, trust. Today, we didn't only talk about trusting other people. We talked about trusting yourself. For example, I want to trust myself again. Now, let's remember one simple English sentence from today's episode. Small steps build strong habits. Let's say it one more time. Small steps build strong habits. Simple, easy to remember, but very powerful. Before we say goodbye, I want to ask you one last question. What's one small promise you can keep today? Maybe it's a 5-minute walk. Maybe it's stretching before bed. Maybe it's simply putting your shoes by the door for tomorrow morning. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Remember, your body isn't asking you to become perfect. It's asking you to keep showing up again and again, one small step at a time. Here's today's quote. You don't become healthy by changing one day. You become healthy by changing one choice again and again. Thank you for spending these few minutes with us. Out of everything you could listen to today, you chose this conversation. That truly means a lot to us. If this episode helped you, please share it with someone who keeps saying, I'll start tomorrow. Maybe today can be their first step. Take care of yourself. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Aye.